Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the first episode of the year, the first episode of the decade, the first episode of the 166th episode of the Retro Gamers podcast. Larry here.
And Anthony here.
Happy New Year, my friend, officially.
Happy New Year officially to you as well.
Welcome to 2020.
You don't sound like Barbara Walters.
No, I'm starting to look like Barbara Walters, which is a little upsetting.
Yeah, it worries me.
It's the facial hair.
Yeah.
So we're here in 2020 finally. We're into the new year, and a lot. When we record, we're only like 5 days in, and I'm already very tired. I've already done a lot this past weekend. I don't know if I'm gonna hold up for the rest of 2020. It's gonna be a busy year.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna have a busy year, then I guess I'm gonna have to have a busy year as well. So,
excellent.
But then again, with my job, that kind of comes into that's just without question. So.
How was it traveling with all everything that you picked up here in New York when you went home?
It was a challenge. Fitting everything into my bags was definitely a pain in the butt. And I did not fit everything in.
Uh-oh.
So Mom will be shipping the remaining items this week.
Good luck.
Yeah. Well, look, I gave a fair warning. I always say when I come home for the holidays, I'm like, look, I get it. It's Christmas. Everybody wants to exchange gifts and everything like that. I'd be like, I can't fit everything in my bag. I was like, just get me a gift card, get me something small. I'll go home. I'll get what I want, whatever. I was like, but
did they do that?
No, they never. There's always this thing about, no, we have to get you something to unwrap. And I'm like, I'm not 7.
Well, I mean, come on. There is something fun about having to unwrap. You know what I mean?
No.
Waiting.
Yes.
Oh, that reminds me. Okay, I'm going to check something out in a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead.
But no, I mean, yes, there is. And, it's the whole part. It's all part of the tradition. And it's not that I don't begrudge them in any way. It's just that when you look at it from a logistical standpoint, like I usually do, it's like, yeah, it's great. I was like, but then how do I get it home? Because once it fit, I mean, I was able to fit, thankfully, like my backpack, I was able to fit like all the video games and comic books that I picked up on my excursions. I was like, but then my actual suitcase, I fit, I think, one gift in there. And it was the most important gift I needed to take home with me, which was the Lego Central Perk set from Friends.
I wanted to talk to you about that. Just Christmas wise, that Lego set. I mean, I'm not a fan of Friends. I'm not saying it's a bad show. I just never got into it. But that Lego set, that looked awesome. You put it together pretty quickly.
I put it together in a day.
No wasting time whatsoever.
No, well, well, there's a reason behind it. One, It looked really cool and I wanted to get it done. 2, the minute I open the Legos and take them out, I have 2 cats. If I don't put it together, it'll never get put together because they're going to knock Legos all over the place. So,
are you like a true Lego master and just like glued all the pieces in so they don't just come apart anymore? No? Okay, fair enough.
No, I did not do that. I just put it together the old-fashioned way. It looks great. I'm very happy with it. So it was a fantastic gift.
I think it really was. I was quite impressed when I saw that. I feel like maybe a Lego Friends game, a video game, may have been missed in the whirl of all these Lego video games that came out.
Yeah, but I don't know if I don't know if necessarily that would have worked out because what do they really do? They go to work, they sit in a coffee shop. They sleep with each other.
Well, all but 2 of them. It's like, they can, you can, one level can be Ross trying to get to the or Rachel trying to get to the altar, to stop that wedding or whatever when Ross called out Rachel's name.
Yes.
or Monica during the, when she was in high school during the prom or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's capabilities. They're out there. If they can do like a couple weird Indiana Jones ones, they can do, I think, a Friends one.
No, I think so. I mean, I think it would fall more along the lines of like those experience games that have been coming out recently, like a Life is Strange kind of game, or even like games like Until Dawn, Man of Medan, Detroit Become Human, where you're faced with decisions and the decisions will dictate what happens next.
Friends, smelly cats.
Yeah, but and just going along with this on this route, I mean, talking about not necessarily Lego video games, but can you think of like any like TV shows that you enjoy or that you think would work well for a
Um,
video game? Perfect example for me was Lost. They made a video game. Granted, it wasn't the best video game, but just because it was like what it was like walking through episodes of Lost, I was happy with it.
There you go. I mean, Home Improvement really didn't, step up to the plate as it should have on Super Nintendo.
Oh, boy.
Same with Wayne's World. That's more of a movie. No, television show, technically, Saturday Night Live. There was a Friends video game, though. I think, do you still have it on the PlayStation 2? It was a trivia game.
It was the one with all the trivia. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is probably yeah.
I think I have it still. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, do you remember playing? Was it just like a very straightforward, just like 500 questions? After 2 rounds, you memorized everything?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much what it was. It's like, yeah, it was, and I think it had like video clips from the show and stuff like that,
Yeah.
which again was fine with me.
Movie.
But
I mean, game-wise television. I'm trying to think because you would think that an action show would
Mhm.
have to lend itself to that, but Home Improvement goes to show that it doesn't have to be an action show. Alf got a video game on the
Yep.
Master System. Let's
Way
see
back
what
when.
else. Of course, there's the various Sesame Street games, but for me, I would have to say if there was like a MST3K video game,
How would that
where
go?
it would be simple. You have to make your way through the tunnel to get to the movie theater.
Mm.
There's 6 chambers. For those of you, of course, I'm sure everybody is a fan of Mystery Science Theater 3000, or at least has seen an episode of MST3K. You have that corridor, the classic iconic corridor to get into the movie theater after movie sign, and you can choose either Crow or Tom. Wait, nope. See, it's all now starting to come to me. So what
Uh-oh.
happens is it's almost like Ninja Turtles, where it's basically you have 4 lives. Where
Okay.
if you lose a turtle, you just pick another turtle.
Yes.
So in this one, you would have 3. It would be Crow, Tom, and Gypsy, because Cambot's the one that has to follow the action.
What about the human?
Well, no, that's what I'm getting to. So
Oh.
what happens is, now it depends on which one you want to use, Mike, Joel, or Jonah. I prefer Mike. He was my favorite of the 3. And then, yes, so Dr. Forrester has him trapped in the movie theater, and you have to get through all 6 segments of the tunnel, which were always a little different,
Mhm.
to get to the end. Now, as far as villains, oh my gosh, because these movies are so old, I'm sure the copyrights are gone. I'm sure you can get like Manos from Manos: The Hands of Fate. You can get Mr. B from the Mr. B Natural shorts. Oh my god. Okay, I am figuring out this movie. I mean, this video game.
Well,
This is going to be awesome.
I think you need to pitch the producers of the show
Absolutely.
at this point.
TV's Frank. You can get Larry, who was on the first season. Okay, yep, I'm good. Side note: there is a, what do you want to call it? I wouldn't say a petition, but people can like write to Lego and to create Lego like kind of like your friend set that you have.
Mhm.
I guess if there's enough votes, they'll actually do it.
Oh,
And
cool.
there's been one for an MST3K.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh yeah, I don't think it's going anywhere, unfortunately, but I would love to see that. But yeah, so I think an MST3K video game would be very interesting. I'm trying to think some others. I know the weirdest one I have. I'm looking at it right now is Krull. Krull was a 1980s like fantasy movie.
Yep.
I believe it was the first movie Liam Neeson starred in, or at least had it like a supporting role.
Mhm.
And I remember actually going back to MST3K, the guys from the show, now called Riff Tracks, they riffed Krull in the movie theaters. And I found a copy of it on Atari, Krull on the Atari 2600, and I mailed it away. I probably mentioned this before, but anyone new listening, I mailed it away to get the 3 of them to sign it: Bill Corbett,
Okay.
Mike Nelson, and Kevin Murphy. And it was the riff came and went in the movie theater. Very funny riff with Krull. So I'm like, all right. I chalked it up to, it was an $8, not even like a $5 game, whatever. And then lo and behold, like I would say maybe like 5 months later, 6 months later, I get a package in the mail, and there it is, signed on the back of the Atari cartridge by the three of them.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it's fantastic. And not my only Atari signature. I got Karen Allen to sign Raiders of the Lost Ark on
yes.
Atari.
That's just crazy. I love how you've transitioned to getting autographs on video games, and I'm sure all of the actors just look at it like, "What's this?"
No, I mean it's either the pops or the video games, and there's something about the video games that makes it more fun because sometimes some of these actors and actresses they didn't realize.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. Karen Allen was like, "Oh, this is awesome. Is this a fantastic game?" I was like, "Yeah, okay, sure. Game's phenomenal. Please sign it.
Just sign it."
And then
you're probably not even in it.
You know what? I think when I spoke about this, I don't think we were doing the YouTube. So if we did, and I showed it before, I apologize. But I'm pretty sure some of the people weren't on YouTube yet. One of my favorites is this one here. I got Back to the Future.
Yes.
Signed. Now that is Marvin Barry from the band in Back to the Future. Hey, Chuck, it's your cousin Marvin. Marvin Barry, listen to this. So he signs it, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, how long have you had this game?" I bought it like a week prior. I'm like, I had it forever. Nice. So he signs it his name, Harry Warder Jr.
Yep.
And then I'm like, "Hey, any chance you can sign Marvin Barry?" He's like, yeah, don't worry about it. So he signs Marvin Barry. But before he signed that, I'm like, you know what? Is there any chance you can get, listen to this? He's like, I'm like, you probably can't. There's not enough room. And he's like, watch, I'll make magic. And there involves, he gets listened to this. And he was in full regalia, including the wrap around his hand.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, he was awesome. He was awesome.
Nice.
And then the jerk was John Davidson from Hollywood Squares. He's signing it. And he actually tells me, oh, you can sell this on eBay for like $10. I was like, thanks, John. Have a good day.
Yeah, thank you, John. Goodbye.
What, like growing up, I looked up to him because I wanted to be a game show host, and there he is shooting me down.
Isn't that always the way with celebrities?
He clearly, I think, did Hollywood Squares for a paycheck and for no other reason the way he acted.
Well, considering the fact he should be a little bit more grateful, considering the fact that now he's just doing conventions.
Basically. And then the two Jaws games I have. Any television shows you can think of, or I mean, movies are easier to do, but television is really not TV.
Yeah, television's a little bit harder, and I think that like I was trying to go back and think what would work the best, and I think if you went the sci-fi route with something like Buffy had a couple of had a few video games. The first one was fantastic on Xbox.
Phenomenal Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Second one was all right.
Yeah, the second one was okay, and I think there were a couple of handheld ones as well. We covered that at some point on the show a very long time ago. But I'm thinking more along the lines of I think it would be really interesting to do like Quantum Leap or Sliders, where every level you're because Quantum Leap, every level you're like a different person in history. Sliders, you're always, every level's an alternate universe where something is different. I think those would have been perfect for a video game. And then actually more recently, and I don't know why this isn't happening because, I never know what's going on. But with DC Comics, DC TV, like all of the Arrowverse that's on, the is it the WB? I don't know.
It's WB. Yeah.
CW. Sorry.
UPN.
UPN. Hey. But going back, the whole DC Arrowverse, like Arrow, Supergirl, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Black Lightning, now Batwoman, there's a ton of opportunity there, I think, for a video game, and maybe not separate ones for each show, although I could see that, but just even a crossover one, the same way they do crossover episodes every year. I think that would be a great video game.
I think so. Crossovers. Oh God, the only ones. I mean, I can't even really think of a major series of crossovers for video games that would lend to something like that, because it would be a really cool idea. Short of them going to the Olympics, which is the only crossover now that I can think of, besides Battletoads Double Dragon, which was I think an awesome game.
Yeah, no. But what I mean by crossover is every year those shows do a crossover special, and It's like 4 or 5 episodes long, one episode for each show,
Mhm.
and all the characters are together. And I'm talking like if you did a crossover, like Crisis on Infinite Earths was the one that they did this year.
Yeah, I gotta
If you,
see that actually.
yeah, me too. But if you did a video game based off of Crisis on Infinite Earths and used the Arrowverse from television, I think that would actually be a really interesting video game.
That would be I think it would be very interesting. I also think what would be interesting for video games if like you almost like rehashed maybe like old television shows, maybe like the old Dukes of Hazzard or I know there was a Knight Rider on NES. Actually, I
Mhm.
think I have it. Maybe if you can go back and almost not reboot, but just kind of bring them back. I guess you can kind of reboot it, kind of like when they rebooted Spy Hunter, and that actually turned out to be a
Mhm.
really good version.
Yeah.
So, hmm,
I don't know. I mean,
there's a
look,
lot to it.
if Gilligan's Island can get a video game, I think almost any show can get a video game.
And I love how Gilligan's Island to me always played like Platoon. I don't know why,
Oh
but
God.
It always reminded me of the gameplay of Platoon. I wish
Wow.
I knew. I wish I knew. I still don't know why I had a Platoon, but it was what it was. Gilligan's Island was fun. I never had the Muppets. I remember seeing a Muppets
Oh
NES
yeah.
game.
There was a
Never got
Muppets
my
NES.
hands on it.
I never played that one either.
And also to mention it, with television shows, um, and maybe they kind of go the way of when they boot a movie from a television show. Just sometimes they just can't get it right.
Possible.
There's only maybe a small handful of television franchises that were able to leap to the big screen
True.
successfully, even in a cult classic kind of way. But yeah, video game wise, just
Yeah.
television shows just don't lend themselves.
No. 24 had a game on PS2
It did.
and
It
Xbox.
did. I
And
think
I
Dark
remember
Angel had a game on Xbox.
Dark Angel 2. And I played the 24 game. I don't think I ever beat it, but it was very much like the show, and it was really cool. Even when you got to the interrogation scenes, you just had Kiefer Sutherland yelling. No, tell me
And
your name. Okay,
Doot,
how many
doot,
times can we do that? And then
doot,
and then
doot.
of course he would break every law under the sun, and
Of course,
and
that's how you do it.
assault people. But yeah, like 24 had, like, I think to your point, like more like action series would definitely work. And like I said, like action sci-fi, Star Trek, stuff like that.
Star Trek's had tons of them going back
Yeah.
to Atari. CSI lends to like those point and click games that work
Yep.
out well. I had X Files on PlayStation, which I really never
Oh
got into,
yeah.
which was also kind of a click, like a click mouse, whatever you want to call them, click
Mhm.
game. And it was 4 discs, 3 or 4 discs. So
Wow.
that was a long game. So yeah, I guess maybe, but nowadays we're starting to see, the angry video game nerd has a video game. I think old PewDiePie there has a mobile game. So
Yep.
now, now everyone's getting a game. We can probably get a game.
We probably could if we made it ourselves.
Maybe. And I feel like one of us might have a program that might allow us to do that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
A little Kickstarter campaign to come to fruition.
I was happy that I supported that Kickstarter campaign. Unfortunately, I don't think I've even downloaded it yet. Or I did at some point, but never the updates. But look, it all comes down to time, and of which I have none. So, but I would also love to see like something just popped in my head. Oh yeah, it would be really disturbing, like a Dexter video game.
I am pretty sure there had to have been a Dexter video game.
I don't know. There are so many games that get rumored and don't happen for all you know the way. So I'm still heartbroken that the Scream franchise never got their video game, even though it was planned.
Now that would be interesting because you get, these horror franchises you would think would lend themselves to some sort of game. Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th. You know what I mean? Is there not a Scream DLC for Dead by Daylight?
That is correct. Yes.
Okay, so
But it's only the Ghostface character.
Oh, okay. So not like Sydney's is the only one.
No, there's a rumor though that they may be getting that now. Like not Sydney necessarily, but they may be getting the town of Woodsboro. So
okay.
Yeah, because it's possible. Like when they first got Ghostface, they didn't have the license, I don't think, to the Scream franchise. So when when you looked at him, he had the ghost face, but the outfit he was wearing was not the outfit from the film.
Oh, I see.
And then not too long ago, they actually offered the classic look as a downloadable option, which makes me think that they got the license to it. So now I'm curious to see if they're going to add anything else to that one.
Okay, that's something to look out for. And you got these games, like you mentioned last week and what you were playing at the end of last year, 13th Doll. Sometimes time is on the side of these video game producers and creators.
True.
Where so all right, fine, we had to wait a long time, but sometimes good things come to those who wait.
That's very true. Although some of us get impatient.
Well, that can be very true. When you look at the list of, let's jump down this rabbit hole. When you look at the list of video games that are based on television shows, there's probably, it's very obvious. So you have well, I'm not going to count the wrestling games because that's what's here.
No.
But you got a lot of sci-fi, X-Files, Star Trek, Power Rangers. Well, that's not really sci-fi, but we'll call it fantasy. You have your history. Doctor Who. Doctor Who had some games. Then you get stuff like Dancing with the Stars. You get BattleBots. So you get like these hit shows that they just try and market for everything. Dancing with the Stars has a tour, for crying out loud.
Wait, Dancing with the Stars got a video game?
I think they got a couple of them. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yep. And but kind of like in the Just Dance type of gaming realm.
You got Doctor Who that has one, which is really good. Power Rangers, of course. Power
Rangers has a bunch of them.
Yep.
I think though probably the biggest, let's call it genre, has to be game shows. And I know we've done it before, but definitely game shows just lends themselves to be a perfect pickup for video games.
No question about that.
I can't even really think of a bad. As I say this now, I'm sure they'll start to come up, but I can't think of really a bad game show video game unless the game show itself was bad.
Yeah, pretty much. I think. I've enjoyed them all for the most part because I'm like, but we're also game show nerds, so
that is true. I think also now that I think about it, the only game I remember getting and then just was so frustrated with it because I couldn't get the controls to work properly was Double Dare on the Commodore 64.
Oh.
I can never get them to run, jump, climb. Oh, God, it's frustrating.
You know which one I couldn't stand also was Funhouse on NES.
Yes.
That one was a mess.
Funhouse was rough.
That was
great
a mess.
Show.
Yeah, it was a great show, but it was a mess. And then I was going to say that the other thing that just popped in my head in terms of going back to TV series, the Telltale series that dove into television shows. The Walking Dead.
Yes.
They did Game of Thrones.
Did they do Game of Thrones? But are those based on the television series or on the book / comic?
No. They're original. They're original stories, but they're in the same universe.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's not directly based, but it,
No, still something.
Related. Yeah, and what other show? Oh, Jackass. Remember Jackass got a game?
They did get a game. They get a new movie too.
But now that we're looking through the list, do you see anything that surprises you in terms of what television show did get a video game? Like Gilligan's Island is one of the ones where I'm like, how the hell did they get a video game? But here's one that I'm like, what the hell is this? L.A. Law got a video game in 1992.
do.
Yeah.
And like which L.A. Law?
Exactly. So like, all right. So that one kind of surprises me.
But it's weird because, like I said, I've seen CSI, I've seen NCIS video games, X-File video games, so they all kind of, to me, go together.
Wait, here's one. In 1993, we got a video game on the computer for Homie D. Clown, the character from In Living Color.
Really?
In 1996, Computer Gaming World declared Homie D. Clown the 5th worst computer game ever released.
Oh, but Homie don't play that.
Well, apparently nobody played that.
Wow. I can't believe you think they just go straight In Living Color to get all those franchises, but just okay.
It was just Homie the Clown.
Fair enough.
That's awesome.
Any
surprises?
I'm looking through the list and not to me. Oh, wait, hold on. Wow. Okay. Apparently I wasn't scrolling down far enough. I just found all of them.
You got to
Okay.
keep scrolling
Yeah.
down.
Holy cow. Um, you know what was not good? I know we talked about it before. Bill and Ted's Excellent Video Game Adventure.
Well, that was based off the movie, though.
No, I know. Well, no, there was. What? Oh yeah, I guess because there was a
That was based off
cartoon
the
with them.
movie.
You're right. You're
Yeah.
right. Let's see. Just run. Oh well. Okay. So you do. I think you could just lump all the Disney and Nickelodeon like tween shows.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Victorious, iCarly, Corey in the House,
Yes.
like, and let's not even. Well, Mary Kate and Ashley, they had their own games, but it was never a full house game. So I guess we're okay with that.
Okay.
Even
Okay.
Elvira had a video game.
I was just about to say, I just saw Elvira on the list, Mistress of the Dark, I guess, based off the movie, and I want it. It was for the computer, but now I need to find that.
Okay. Oh wow. Okay. So yeah, folks, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see us looking things up
Yeah.
here. And I'm
Yeah,
not
like
worried about that.
we're trying to look stuff up just to kind of
I'm
like
not
off
worried.
the top of our head saying, wait a minute, there was a game for this? Okay, That's So Raven, to your point, had a
Yeah.
video game.
No,
how about
but-
this? How about this one? Pimp My Ride from MTV.
I've seen that. I remember that. Yeah, you have to decide. Hold on. And I would all right. This is where I think Ant, you may have to work a little bit of double duty and maybe pull up this photo in particular. There was an arcade game called Fonz. Yes, I'm talking about Arthur
Wow.
Fonzarelli had an arcade game, and if you can maybe at this point here, I'll just do this anyway, just in case.
Okay.
I don't know if you can
Oh
see that.
wow. Okay, that is insane.
That is if you couldn't see that, Ant, feel free to pop
Wait
it
a
up.
minute.
It came out in 1976 by Sega, and it looks. Please tell me you're jumping the shark in this because it's basically a motorcycle game.
Oh, I really hope so. I really hope you're jumping the shark. Let's see. Oh my God. Okay, there are a couple more I just found that I'm like, what are we? First, Desperate Housewives, the game.
I remember seeing that. Yes, on like PlayStation 2, I think.
Okay. Now, how about this one? Murder, She Wrote, the game.
Poor Angela Lansbury just being dragged out to record lines.
Well,
But then,
but not only that. No, but not only that. Like the game came out in 2009. Like that show ended like so many years ago.
pretty
before
sure she
that.
died before that too.
And not only that, she's still alive.
Is she really?
She is still alive. Yes.
Okay, I honestly thought she died. Okay.
Nope. And not only that, there was a sequel to that game.
Yeah, there are some sequels. Like there was an iCarly 2.
Yeah, she is. Nope, she's still going. She is 94.
Yeah, and then you get stuff like the Office video game, huh?
I don't know.
Hell's Kitchen.
Yep. South Park had a couple of games,
But that kind of can almost make sense. We've
Makes
talked
sense.
about those. Yeah,
except for Chef's Love Shack because that was awful.
that one was weird. Remember the
Wait,
show
is it-
Peter Pan and the Pirates?
Oh, there was a game on the Commodore 64, the Apple II, and Atari 8-bit, based on Dallas, the soap opera from the 80s.
Play unless it's Who Shot JR. Who cares?
Let's see.
JR.
Graphic adventure game based on the series. Let's see. They praised the graphics. A 5-star Your Commodore review praised the graphics as some of the best in the genre. Like there was a genre for it before that. Once you get past the fact that Dallas Quest isn't very closely tied to the show, it turns out to be somewhat entertaining and reasonably challenging. Okay. I will leave that there and just say I'm never playing it. Criminal Minds got a game. Oh, Celebrity Deathmatch, which lent itself to a game. You remember that?
That was all right. Yeah, that works.
Oh,
We
you know
just
which
had
one?
I just saw.
There was a decent one. It's not based directly off it's based off the television show, but it wasn't like related to the show specifically. Scooby Doo. Do you remember the Scooby Doo game for Super Nintendo?
No, I do not, honestly.
Yeah. So it was. I had it. I think. I actually think I had it. It was only 5 stages, kind of similar to Power Rangers, where it was like short, and I think maybe the same company made it. And every stage was you went somewhere and a mystery happens, and you have to figure out, who did it by going through the house and solving it, and you get chased by the ghost or whatever or the monster. And it was literally like playing episodes of the show because like the characters would split up, and obviously it would always be Shaggy and Scooby,
Hmm.
sometimes with Velma, sometimes with Daphne. You know how they would always do it.
Oh yeah.
And it was short. The game, like you could finish the game in like an hour or
Hmm.
less. But it was entertaining to see like how it was based off of the show.
There and we talk about these games shows based. Hey, Retro Game Challenge. I have to check that. Maybe that is us.
How about Attack
Uh,
of the Killer Tomatoes?
I was just looking at that. Fantastic movie, fantastic cartoon. That one's based on the
Yes.
cartoon. Starsky and Hutch, I might have owned.
Hmm.
Oh, and then of course, Thunder in Paradise.
Oh yeah, you need that game.
Thunder, Thunder in Paradise.
Okay, stop. I
There
told you about the
was.
singing thing. Even though it's a new year, same rules.
Well, I just got it in. Roller games. Do you remember roller games?
Yes, I had that game.
Remember that?
I
Do you
had
remember
it.
the show?
Yes, I do remember the show.
And then the
Some
Gator
bru-
Skaters.
some brutal stuff in that show.
The bonus the final round when it was a tie, two guys were selected, and then they had to skate around and try and throw each other into a alligator pit, and they were called the Gator Skaters. I'll
That's
never
right.
forget that
I
till the
remember
day
that.
I die.
That was awesome. I'm surprised our friend Anthony doesn't have this game, but I just saw that the Jennifer Love Hewitt show Ghost Whisperer had a video game.
Really? That must
Yes.
be just like I mentioned the Dark Angel one earlier.
Yeah, more or less.
So yeah, it's
Just
some weird. I
weird
mean,
stuff.
this again, we can go on and on with the Elvira games. I definitely got to check out.
I want
Um,
those. I need to find those. There are
D-
three. She had an arcade game too.
Dallas Quest. This is fantastic. The Dallas Quest.
I wanna see the arcade game.
Oh boy. All
If it's
right.
any
So
if it's anything like the slot machine she has in Vegas, I'm all in.
why does Bill Nye have a video game?
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Well, it's science. I can see that happening.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
this
There's a
this
lot
is.
of I think we need to like personally we need to do a deeper dive into
I think we
television
will.
video games. Yeah.
I think we definitely will. There's enough in here, and we're not even talking about the ones that make sense, like Spider-Man, Sopranos. You can get away with
Mhm.
that. Star Trek, as you can tell, them in the S's. Robot Wars and stuff. But yeah, we definitely have to go back. And you know what? A lot of these games, I'm sure, are very cheap, very inexpensive. Maybe
Mhm.
these are the ones that we should go out. Man versus Wild. Like really?
Okay.
Though that's what I wanted to mention. The evolution of this where now because that just the Man versus Wild just made me think about it because of Bear Grylls. Netflix has video game type interactive shows.
Well, the only one that I know of is Bandersnatch from Black Mirror.
Yeah, no, it's basically that's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to somehow try to explain how that works?
Well, basically, what happens is, as you're watching the television show, a character is left with a decision to make. But what happens is they prompt you, the viewer, to make the decision for him, and depending on what decision you make, the story progresses based on that. So you can actually go back, make the other choice, and then see a completely different story unfold.
Yeah, it's choose your adventure.
Yeah.
And I played a little bit of that Bender Snatch or whatever it's called,
Mhm.
but I first saw it with I forgot what it's called. I think it's You versus Wild or something. It's the Bear Grylls show on Netflix,
Oh,
and
nice.
basically he has to get from like point A to point B, and you got to choose which route to take. And then he takes those routes, and either he gets stuck, and I guess you assume that he dies,
Mhm.
but then like you said, you can go back and you can replay
Yeah.
it to get to it. I think that's a pretty cool idea, especially for Netflix. Kind of adds a little something to it. I would like to see more of those on Netflix. I'm
Yeah.
not sure now that we mention it. I'm not sure
Yeah.
how much interactive
Well,
they have on there, but
there were DVDs that came out with the whole
oh, of
DVD
course, yeah.
craze that were choose. You made your own choices.
Well, they had. I mean, Dragon's Lair was a straight up DVD
Yeah.
that you were able to play in your DVD player.
Yep. Oh, and one of the Final Destination movies allowed you to do that. I think it was the third one.
Really, I didn't know
Yep.
that.
Yeah. So
That's
yeah,
interesting.
I think it was the third one. I had the DVD because what would happen is when you went, there were only like 2 or 3 scenes, but when you went into one of the scenes where somebody was going to die,
Yeah,
you made certain decisions on where they went in the room or what they did, and
That's interesting.
you could potentially save them. And if you save them, they come back in. There's like another scene later on
Mhm.
where they show up again, and you find out what happened to that person now that you've saved them. So in other words, there was like
Oh,
one guy that you saved, and then later on in the movie, you see him getting arrested for doing something illegal, and then they tell you, they'd be like, "Oh, was he really worth saving?" Or something like that, sarcastically. It was an interesting thing, but again, it was a playful element for a DVD as well.
That's very interesting. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
So I looked up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 6 as of right now, at least, or at least when this article hit. There are 6 interactive shows on Netflix.
Yeah.
Black Mirror, Bandersnatch, Bear Grylls, You versus Wild,
Okay.
Minecraft Story Mode, Stretch Armstrong, The Breakout. I gotta find that. That's
okay.
Puss in Book, Trapped in an Epic Tale.
Okay.
And Buddy Thunderstruck, The Maybe Pile. I'm assuming a couple of those are over in the kids section. So
sounds like.
But that's kind of the evolution of these games as far as television. Originally we were just playing a version of the television show. Now we're playing the television show.
Yeah, basically.
So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We'll see. It's 2020. What's next?
Oh, don't say that. You're just opening a can of worms.
I hope so. And with that, folks, let us know some of your favorite television video games, maybe some of your not so favorite television video games, ones maybe you want us to try out, preferably if they're $5 or less. And hit us up, of course, on the Facebook page, on Instagram. We want to hear from you. And just let us know if you would be clicking past these games if they were, I don't know, clickable. That didn't go anywhere.
No. All right, Larry, it is time for this week's retro birthday. And what I find interesting, especially about like this time of year, is like the holidays just happened, Christmas is over and all that stuff. You would think that video game companies would try to avoid any major releases, the first week of January, because let's face it, most people, they broke. But
true.
Yeah, but this one specific retro birthday that I found, I thought was significant. Now, granted, for the most part, that theory is correct. Not a lot of games come out around this time of year because the holidays are over. But this one in particular was one that I owned, so I thought I would bring it up.
Okay.
It was released in 2000 on the Nintendo 64. Which makes it 20 years old today.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, happy 20th birthday to Mario Party 2.
Well, that came out this early in the year?
Yeah, that came out January in the United States, January 9th, 2000.
Wow, I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, just really interesting. And I don't know if you remember, I was a Mario Party fiend.
Oh, it got me through college. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just awesome. I was one of the reasons why they had to create those special gloves for people because I just destroyed my hands.
Well, that was for the first Mario Party. I think the second one completely took away all those, palm twists. Yeah,
they did fix that, thankfully. But so Mario Party 2, which again, if you've never played it, it's a fantastic game. Granted, it's only available on the N64 if you want to get your hands on it. But if you have an N64, definitely you're missing out, especially if you like those party type games. I know
it might be available on like a Wii U Virtual Console. It might be. Yeah.
All right. Well, if it's available there, then definitely
check it out.
Absolutely. It was also the first one where the sequel was when they put them in costumes. So like the Western board, you were dressed up as cowboys and stuff like that. Yeah. They had a little bit more fun with it, but it was really cool. So yeah, so Mario Party 2 celebrating its 20th birthday. That is this week's retro birthday.
All right, so we're still kind of pulling ourselves out of the holiday, any of the gifts that we got, games. I know for the holiday, I got my godson and his little brother. I got them a video game, which I think completely confused them because the look on their face was priceless when they were like, huh?
What is this?
I got him Super Monkey Ball, Banana Blitz, I think it's called.
Okay.
On the Xbox One. So, I was always getting them Switch games. Granted, I was trying to find the Super Monkey Ball on Switch, but I couldn't. It actually, for some reason, it's like hard to find. I don't know why, and it was pricey. But on Xbox, not pricey at all, and very easy to find. Okay. So I got him the game, and they open up the game, and he's 9, so he looks at it, he's like, oh. I could just tell on his face. I'm like, ooh, this is a clunker. All right, fair enough. And then he tried opening the game, and with 3 adults in the house, somehow he got his hands on a pair of scissors and cut right through the case. the plastic, the
Nice.
cover. I was like,
Yep.
all right, I guess he didn't mean to do it, of course, but deep down inside,
That
I'm
hurt.
sure he was just trying to break it.
Yeah.
And then I got my cousins Let's Sing Country. Like I got the whole family Let's
Oh
Sing
my.
Country.
I hope
I
they
left
could sing.
I left the house before they started playing it.
Smart man.
And again, tried getting it on the Switch, got it on Xbox, because the Xbox One came with two microphones. But signs of the times, you can actually use your cell phone as a
Oh.
microphone as well. So I thought that was pretty
Nice.
interesting. So that's I did with the holiday with them. Last week we showed the amazing gifts. I showed my parents. They stopped by because we had a hockey game last week. The magazines, and my dad loved the autographs in that one.
Nice.
Still trying to figure out a couple more. And he picked out he was like, who's Brady Boone? I'm like, exactly. So
I remember him.
I do too. But something else I got a bunch of pop vinyls for Christmas as well. But I got this which I hope this year, one of my wishes for 2020 is actually an episode of this show that I know I won't be able to be a part of because A, it's something that you cherish, and B, I think you would be better off doing it there in LA with your friends. And that's a board game. And we've been talking about this for a long time. Board games, they're in the same vein as video games, and stuff. There's some classic board games out there. It's a whole maybe we can do that once a month. I don't know. As I'm saying this now, is the first time I mentioned it to Anthony. But
okay, thanks for the pitch.
I got this game, which was all sorts of retro. Blockbuster board game.
Yes, I saw that in the store and I laughed.
This thing?
Yes.
It comes in a big VHS. Let's call it what it is. More of a porno VHS case, but a larger VHS case.
And how do you know that?
It's from what I've seen. And the board, you open it up, and there's the board or part of the board. I haven't still read the rules yet, so I'm not 100% how it works. All I know is that. And I know you'll definitely cringe at this part, but I've already screwed up the stickers.
Of course you did.
So there's a little bit of construction. All it is putting two stickers on the Blockbuster sign, because basically it's like a parking lot.
That one looks good.
No, right? Looks awesome.
Yeah,
beautiful, right? All right, let me put it on the poll.
Please fix that.
Epic. I can't. They're stickers.
Oh.
So, but I did email the company based out of the UK because they're like, hey, maybe we can send you a free replacement part. Well, I'm like, well, what happens if it's complete idiot user error? So,
yeah.
But
please get new stickers. I won't be able to sleep at night knowing that exists.
Ooh, maybe I'll keep it like that now.
Look, I sleep very little as it is. Don't torture me anymore.
You're texting me in the middle of the night.
I do all the time.
So I'm looking forward to this. It's just a weird game. I haven't read the rules yet, but it almost looks like I guess you can almost say it's like Parcheesi meets just trivia. So because it's got one word, quote it, and act it. That's part of the kind of like the board is a parking lot.
Oh, okay.
So. But hopefully I'll be able to try this one day.
Sounds good. Hopefully I'm there to try it with you.
I would like to. But like I said, I would love to see, maybe your idea of a board. Even if you picked it up, an idea of a board game, that would be pretty cool. So,
all right. Sounds good.
Blockbuster.
Blockbuster, the party game.
What a difference. So, yeah, that's basically about it on. Well, the only other thing would be what I'm recording on now.
All your new equipment. Yes.
A new laptop. I don't have the mixer broken out for this episode. I just don't have the room where I am right now. Yep. But we did use the mixer. I want to cheap plug. Anthony was a guest on the Better Half podcast that actually will drop day after this drops.
Yep.
We did a very special episode. And that I recorded on the new mixer. I gotta say, it came out phenomenal. So I can't wait to hook this bad boy up and really get this thing going. Really make this professional finally.
Yes, it will be a lot of fun. I am sure. On my end of things, I don't know. I have a few things. Not many of them are video game related.
That's all right.
In terms of equipment, I got a nice little. I got a little soundproof thing for my microphone. So Yep, so that when I record, you don't hear all the other sound effects around my house. And I actually got to use it earlier today to create a sound effect for a short film I'm editing. So
Oh,
that
there
was
you
actually
go.
kind of fun,
Nice.
which is really cool. Video game wise, I have one game because I bought 4 games at GameStop. It was buy two get two. Remember?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
One of the games was really bad. So I just went back and said, I changed my mind about this one. Can I get some, I just want to swap it for something else. So I picked up for PS4 Pac-Man Championship Edition 2.
Oh, very
And
good.
then the arcade game series for Galaga, Dig Dug, and Pac-Man.
That is a good pick. That
Yes.
championship edition is so much fun to play, especially
Yep.
the sequel. Sequel is very good.
I don't
Cool.
remember. Yeah, I haven't played the sequel yet, which is great. So now I have that, which I'm very happy with. A couple more video game things from my friend at work who used to create all the Nintendo figure stuff.
There
He
you go.
gave me a cool figure of Deku Link.
Oh, cool.
Which
From
is
a
nice.
terrible version of the game.
What are you talking about? I love that game. We talked about this. You said
We
you were
have.
gonna. You said you were gonna go back and try it.
I tried it.
You're lying.
Still hated it.
I don't believe you. You're lying.
Liar.
And then from the Wind Waker, I got minifigures of Tetra, the King of Hyrule, and Ganondorf.
Oh, that's cool. Very nice.
It's really cool. And they go in the Wind Waker playset.
Even better. Now you have to buy the playset.
I think I have. I think it's
Haven't
hiding
I?
back here. Yeah, I have it.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, so that was really cool. So a couple
What
of
else
cool
you put
things.
together now.
Yeah, a couple of cool things there. Non-video game stuff though. I have one other video game thing. I'm saving it for the end.
Yeah, all right.
Non-video game stuff, I have to say, really awesome. A friend of mine got me this. She and I are really big hockey fans.
Mm-hmm.
She's a Kings fan. I am a Kings fan because I live here, but I'm a Rangers fan first and foremost. I bleed blue. So she got me this really cool frame, New York Rangers logo. But
Oh, wow. Oh, there I am too.
these are built off of the Rangers jerseys. They're actual pieces of the sweaters.
Oh, that's cool.
So the three different jerseys that they
Hello.
wear.
There I am.
They put together, which is
That's
really
cool. That's very cool.
Yeah, so that was really awesome.
Yeah, I like that.
And then for those of you who don't know, I play hockey. That's one of the things that I do. And one of the teams that I play on is the Los Angeles Blades, and I played on their team yesterday. We had a scrimmage yesterday that may or may not be airing on NBC.
Really? For what?
For Hockey Day in America.
Oh, that's cool.
So that'll be in February. But because
is that what that is?
So they gave me a group. No, they gave me a group photo. This wasn't related to that. They just happened to give me a group photo as a thank you.
No,
because I donate a lot of stuff when we do fundraisers and whatnot. So so this was from when we actually played at the Staples Center last year.
No, that's cool. When you posted that on your Facebook, I thought it was just like a Christmas card. So I'm like, okay, I didn't realize it was that.
Whole giant picture I could put on the wall.
That's a whole different ball game. That's pretty cool.
Very happy, very, very, very honored to be part of the Blades organization, which is really cool. And then the most important gift that I did get, I bought for myself.
All right.
And again, normally I spend a lot of money on video games, but for those of you who also don't know, I'm a very big comic book collector. So I got to fulfill pretty much a lifelong dream. You know this. I got to fulfill a lifelong dream. When I got home, this was the first thing I did when I walked through the door. I waved at the cats and then ran to the box to open it up. But I got myself a low-grade copy, but still a copy of Avengers #1.
There you go.
Marvel Comics. There you are.
I think we have to take a picture of it and maybe just post it up as well. There you go. There's a better shot. Gets rid of me.
Something like this.
Even better. Even better.
But I will say the cover looks fantastic. Granted,
Yep.
the rest of the book is a bit messy, but
like you said, who cares? It's a copy of the book. It's a copy of the issue.
And I could not be happier about that.
Good
That is
stuff.
definitely, I'm so happy with that gift.
That is awesome.
And then last but not least, I got this this video game gift. And Larry, I want to share it with you here on the podcast.
Uh-oh.
Because it is Ultimate Video Game Trivia.
What is that? That is awesome.
Yes.
Oh, man.
So, and what this is very simple. It is just video game cards. with trivia cards.
Oh, wow.
So, if you don't mind,
Go for it.
we're gonna play a little trivia.
Oh, man. Okay.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All
Hit me,
right.
Alex.
Here we go. Oh no, you won't know that. Okay. Here you go. Game Boy's launch title Alleyway was a clone of which 1976 Atari arcade game?
Breakout.
That is correct.
Unless, okay. I was hoping they weren't going with Pong. All right.
Nope. Okay.
Yeah.
Introduced in Mario Kart 64 and a staple of the series since, which controversial projectile targets the race leader?
Oh, the blue shell.
Yes, that is correct.
Stupid blue spiny shell.
Okay.
Do I win anything?
Do you what?
Am I going to win anything?
Respect.
Yeah.
Which 5 colors are used on the fret buttons of Guitar Hero controls?
Wow. Okay, in no particular order.
Yep.
Red. It's got to be the primary colors. Red, green,
Mhm.
blue, yellow. Red, green, blue, yellow. Red, orange.
That is correct.
Oh, yes.
All right, now I'm going to give you harder ones.
What's the one you said I wouldn't get?
The one. Do you really want to know?
Yeah.
It was. Which open world survival game is set on the fictional ocean planet 4546b?
Wait, what open world what?
Open word. Which open word survival? Oh, maybe they made a typo.
No, maybe that's a
No, I think it's open world survival game is set on the fictional ocean planet 4546b.
ocean planet.
Yup.
Yeah, that open world. Yeah, that one I'm not sure. I mean Minecraft, but
No.
Minecraft, but
It was Subnautica.
oh, I've heard of that. Okay.
So all right.
That's a good
I'm
question.
gonna give you 2 more.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that one. Okay.
Yeah, I've seen Pat Sajak do this.
Yes.
I don't want to read
What is the name of Spyro? Pat Sajak.
Yeah, I know.
What is the name of Spyro the Dragon's dragonfly companion?
I honestly never played Spyro. I'm gonna have to pass on that one. I can't even venture to guess.
His name was Sparks.
I feel like I knew that. Okay.
And last but not least, just for a 5th one.
Yeah.
Jacqueline Natia was the main antagonist in which iconic 1996 action platformer?
Jacqueline
Natia.
Natia. Why does that sound like?
Or Natla.
Well,
Yeah.
platformer. So I was going to go with GoldenEye at first, but that's not a platformer. I can't think of it quick enough.
Tomb Raider.
Oh, I was going to say Tomb Raider. Dang it.
So yeah,
Was Jacqueline a guy or a girl?
I think it was a woman.
Oh, see, I didn't think there was a woman.
So anyway, so video game trivia, really cool. I think
awesome.
I think I may throw every once in a while. I may just pull a couple of cards out for.
Oh no,
for you.
totally do that.
Yeah, but
that is awesome.
But that's a super fun little video game gift. And that's all I really wanted to show and tell about today.
Hey, that talking about trivia, that reminds me, I that's getting some legs under it. I posted not a meme, but a thing up. So on Nintendo's official Instagram page, on their Instagram stories, excuse me, whoa, pardon me. They did questions because it was like funny enough, it was like National Trivia Day the other day. So they were asking different questions, some of it like, what was Princess Peach's color? What was Princess Peach's original dress color?
Pink.
No, it was white. In the original Super Mario Brothers, when you saved it, it was white. Yeah, so there's stuff like that. Yeah. So then they asked, one of the questions was, who's older, Mario or Luigi? Answer being Mario, of course. Okay, fine. But then they go, yes, not by much because they're twins. And I do not remember. Someone pointed it out. They did mention this in canon. But so unless I completely forgot about it, I did not realize that these two were supposed to be twins. Do you ever remember hearing about this?
Absolutely not.
No, right. So, forgive me, I don't have it in front of me. So, who pointed it out? I apologize. I don't have your name, but someone mentioned that they mentioned it in Yoshi's Island, Super Mario World 2.
Mhm.
Now, granted, Baby Mario and Baby Luigi, who at times seem to be different characters than Mario and Luigi, they're twins. So,
Well, there's
maybe
your answer.
they're different than Mario and Luigi. And I know I was thinking of maybe Super Mario Brothers the movie when they were talking
Ooh.
about, Luigi was talking about his older brother Mario. But yeah, according to Nintendo, they are twins.
Yeah. Well, it's probably something we just overlooked. That's all. It
Ah,
happens. Kind of almost like, when Mario's the painter and not a plumber and
yeah,
things like
that's just
that.
inaccuracy. This is coming from Nintendo.
Yes,
So I
very
thought
true.
I actually found that very interesting. I was like, ooh, okay. So, but yeah, other than that, I think that's pretty much about it. I think we'll wrap this one up.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right, it's a good one to start off 2020. And where can they find us?
They can find this on Facebook at facebook.com/RetroGamersPodcast, Instagram at RetroGamersPodcast. You can watch us on YouTube. Just look for the Retro Gamers Podcast there. Twitter, I think we're at Retro Gamers Pod.
Hmm?
And the retrogamers.com is our website. You can also email us at email@theretrogamers.com.
Yes, and definitely hit us up, DM us, let us know what you want to hear on the podcast. Ask us questions on, if you want our thoughts or opinions on something in the video game world or retro video games. Definitely, we want to do more interaction this year, especially
Yes.
on the podcast portion of it. So yeah, definitely hit us up. And with that, Ant, best of luck again in 2020. Now that we're actually
Thank you.
here.
Same. And a wonderful 2020 for you as well.
Yes, I cannot wait. And for all of you out there listening and watching, good luck in 2020, and we will continue to catch you this year right here on the Retro Gamers Podcast.